Hi, welcome to another video of the targeted individual experience, the target individual program. Uh, where do I begin? So, the past 2 weeks, been getting a lot of heavy targeting, very concentrated targeting. Uh, when I first was awoken to the targeting, all right? Because before that, it was covert and didn't really notice anything until they decided that they were going to now proceed with targeting me in an overt manner, right? What RTI call the wakening up stage, where you start to notice a lot of the subliminal messaging, the mind control, the physical harassment, the psychological harassment. So, uh, the previous video to this one, I advise you guys to go back and look at it. And I forgot this video, and this was I recorded this after I think in the previous video I was at the bus stop and there was a SUV across the street parked up at a gas station, and it had that number in the license plate that they are trying so very hard to trigger that subconscious anchor that they have placed in my subconscious mind. And so that particular number, the number 32, for the past 2 weeks, they have been relentless with the psyops, with that trigger, trying to trigger something in me. Okay, um, which I would say haven't worked out too well for them because again, um, I had changed the association numerous times to that number. So whenever I see that number, if I start feeling negative, I change it, that emotional feeling, to something that's positive immediately. And so I could tell that they've been trying very hard because the frequency at which that number shows up wherever I go, whether it be in the license plate of cars, whether it be vehicles that have a phone number on them that have that number in the phone number, or whether it be that vehicle number, such as a school bus and so forth, that have that number in it. So anyway, I forgot this video, and it's a result of the targeting when you're being targeted so heavily that it does affect you psychologically, that you tend to forget stuff, like your short-term memory. It affects it greatly. Also, what I find myself doing lately is dropping things. Like whenever I hold something in my hand, I would drop it. And I noticed that, earlier this week, that I kept dropping stuff. You know, everything I had in my hand, I would drop it. It would be keys, bottled water, like when I'm eating dinner, right now I'm using paper plates because, again, the remote neural monitoring, uh, the headaches that I've been getting and the frequency in which I've been getting the headaches all coincides with the relentless targeting uh, by the police, by the civilian perpetrators. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Okay. So, with the relentless targeting, that has been tremendous, in terms of what it is that they're doing, the monitoring of what I watch on TV, on cable, and on the computers, both my son's computers, which I do these recordings on, and my computer, which I don't have a camera, a webcam hooked up to, because I use my computer as a home entertainment server. So I watch movies on my computer that's hooked up to the television. So I really don't have a webcam. So I use my son's computer, which I have bought him a webcam to do his videos and stuff like that. So that's what I use. And so yeah, and then trying to send me subliminal message, and it's very interesting the way how they do it. And I'm going to expose a lot of things that they do in this video. So as I was watching a show on television, and lately, but that's all the time. They try to get you to be quiet, to shut up about what it is that they're doing, because again, they don't want to be exposed. When you look up coercive persuasion program, the definition of it, also the purpose of the perpetrators of these crimes, these criminal programs, is to shut the victim up, because they don't want to be held responsible for the violation of your human rights, your civil rights, your privacy. The things that they're doing is torture, okay, and they are engaging in torture, including the civilian perps who participate in torture. And you will see in some of the videos coming up, there are those who participate in this who will literally hide their faces, because again, they don't want to be recognized and they don't want to be held accountable. So that's the reason they hide their faces. I've had it where I've been targeted by police officers who would cover up their badge numbers. Okay, they will have tape over their badge numbers. Okay, and so it's not surprising. But let me get on to this video, because I have a couple of videos to do, and this is the first of a few videos that I'll be doing today, as the kids is off from school for next week, and so this will be the only opportunity that I have right now to record these videos. So the previous video I talked about, I was coming back from physical therapy, and I was at the bus stop. So I took the bus and I got off at the stop that I was supposed to get off on. And as I got off that bus stop, walked to the corner, there was a police vehicle parked up on the other side of the street. Now, when I got off the bus, there was a police officer who was standing outside of the police vehicle. And when he saw me, he got inside of the police vehicle, and at that point, I took my phone out and I started recording. But I didn't do it in a very blatant manner. I kind of wanted to, I held the camera below my waist so I can record it. I try to get footage of the harassment that they do. So as I was crossing the street, also they didn't have their lights on, so it wasn't until I approached the corner that they turned on their lights. And you'll see it, and it's very briefly, but you definitely see it. Also, if you hear in the background There's a church bell that's playing the Amazing Grace song. I've said this before. When you talk about coercive persuasion program, particularly if it's being perpetrated by the state or the federal security agencies, they will use the police department to engage in some of the lower level tactic, and also the police department or police officers who are engaged in this sort of behavior all belong to religious organization. And so what you find is that the churches are a big participant in these sort of programs, in these sort of psychological harassment program, these sort of propaganda, negative propaganda, spreading rumors about the targets. The churches are involved along with these police officers who take their orders from those high ups, whether it be from the security agencies, that's the CIA, the FBI, and their police department. It can also be from the Department of Health, any agency that can use the police as a resource to engage in this sort of stuff. Okay? So, the use of, like I said, they use music, songs to engage also in subliminal messaging. Like, see the police car right there? Now, as I was crossing the street, the police officer that was on the driving side, because there's two of them in the car. One was outside the car, and as I crossed the street, he got back in the car. And the other one was on the passenger side, on the driver's side, as I was crossing the street. He rolls down his window. Okay, and again, as I approached the intersection to cross over, they turned on their lights. And I've shown it in my video where they were driving towards me with their lights flashing, but no sirens. Okay, so that was that video. And we continue on to the next. Now, this is the next day, and the kids were sick, and I had to, actually I just took them to the doctor, so we were leaving the doctor and we were heading to the mall, Kings Plaza. And you'll see as I'll try to explain the target and what I believe is going on. Okay, so I think I forgot the music was playing, and I don't want to be flagged, so I can't let the sound play for too long. But I started to call out the license plate numbers of vehicles, because a lot of times in the video I've watched, I was able to record vehicles directly in front of me or on the same side of the street that I'm driving on, but on the opposite side, the camera was not able to pick up on those numbers or car coming on the opposite direction unless they were driving very slowly. So I started to call out the license plate numbers that have that particular number on it. HXM 6432. So that was the white Jeep Cherokee. That was the license plate. And of course, you see these perps. Now you see how they walk in the street, right? They're walking in the street. Now, why would you walk in the street? There's a sidewalk there, but again, it's because they're part of the harassment, right? And usually, again, because they use colors in our targeting, we've been conditioned, we've been programmed with colors. Also, colors acts as triggers to an emotion or to a thought pattern. Okay. Okay. There's one point I think I did turn off the radio. I just gotta let me go back for a minute. Hold up. There go the red theme again, and it's constant. So as I approach the corner, the guy comes around, the red shirt, and they're constantly using that color. When you see certain colors very frequently, okay, you know that's part of the targeting. Okay, and here I was getting gas. So again, the guy with the red shirt. You can see, right? It really wasn't a very cold day. I think the temperature was about 45 degrees that day. And, you know, there's going to be a part of this video that I'm going to show you of how they send me subliminal message about being quiet, not say anything, to shut up, that sort of thing. Also the use of threats, basically threatening my life. It'll all be shown in this video. So I'm just going to, something might speed up the video just to keep it moving along. Okay, so coming up here, you're gonna see a woman who's going to walk and stop by here. She's gonna look at this vehicle and look at me, and she's going to, she was walking. She did a hand signal. Then she's gonna look at this video, and she's gonna look at me again. Look at this vehicle, and she's gonna look at me again, trying to trigger something with this particular number. And again, you'll see that number is that exact number which they use to try to trigger me. Watch your hands goes up. There you go. Let's go back. Okay, she comes walk. She's looking at that vehicle. She looks at me. There's a hand signal. And guess what? See that number? Yellow van passed by. Guy does the hand signal. Everything is coordinated. Okay? Synchronization is, uh, the movement is synchronized perfectly. Now, you see in the video, you saw people, we just had on light jackets and stuff like that. So it really wasn't cold at all. At least not to the point where, you see people covering up their faces because of the temperature. Like I said, it was about 45 degrees. And you'll see as I approach this work area here, they're doing a construction work on the street. Now watch this gentleman. Okay, let's go back. Oop, too far. Alright, I'm just gonna let it play out. Okay, and now watch this gentleman as he cover up his mouth with his scarf. Now remember, okay, it was not a very cold day, but again, this is how they send subliminal message about being quiet. So they will do this, they'll cover up their mouth, or if they wearing a scarf, they will, as I approach them, they will take their scarf and cover their mouth with it, as he is doing right here. See that? Now as I pass by, he let it go. He takes his hands from covering his scarf around his mouth. Okay, I'm going to speed this up. Till we get on the wall.
You're not going nowhere.
Hmm? We're going into the mall. Okay, I think I had turned the volume on the radio down. Now I want to get to this part. So this is how, again, right now I'm being remotely monitored. The use of microwave to direct me where to go, where to stop at, and you'll see you'll either be right in front of a vehicle with that number on it, that number they used to target me, or I will be right directly across from a vehicle with that number on it. So I'm driving around looking for parking. Oh yeah. You got one boots back on. They're coming out.
I think after there's something machine.
Okay, they wasn't coming out.
few minutes. Somebody got to come out.
Why you can't go over there?
Hmm?
I can't go over there. Daddy, why can't you go over there, Daddy?
It was the red theme again.
Right
That's handicap. Parking.
And as she walked by, when she looked at her hands, see how the palm of her hands is facing backwards?
there. Back on.
Remember how I talked about, particularly women, when they walk past me or if I'm walking behind them, they will take one of their arms, place it behind their back with their palm facing towards me. And when I start to expose it on my videos, they, started doing it differently because Pam was doing the same thing to me in the house. And then when I started putting in the video, I started exposing them, they started doing it differently. So they would start with their hands down to the side, and their palm would be turned facing me. Okay? And so they, once you start to expose one tactic that they do, they will find some way of adjusting to target you in the same manner but differently. So what they were doing now is that they will be walking with their hands down, but their palms will be facing backwards. Now, normally, you talk about human behavior. When you're walking, your arms, your hands is to the side. Okay, we don't walk with our hands, with our palm face backwards. Swinging our arms as we're walking. Okay, but again, they will find a way to adjust their targeting to try to mask it. And this is what I call the masking techniques, right? The masking of the psychological harassment. Do it in such a way that it's not so obvious and it's not so blatant, so that if you are recording to expose what they're doing, people will look at it and say, well, I don't see what you're seeing. Well, of course not. So I have to explain it. Okay? And it looks very awkward, very unnatural when they do it. Because the arms can't really swing forward. See how this woman is walking in front of it? See how her arms are swinging? Because her hand, with her palm of her hand, is not facing backwards.
Why you can't go over there?
Hmm?
I can't go over there.
Again, you'll see the red theme.
Daddy, why can't you go over there, Daddy?
See, look at this one.
Over there, right there.
Well, I guess her arms are swinging.
That's
But anyway, her palms are facing backwards, as you can see. And then as she walked past me, she
people
puts
have
it
a
in her
special,
pocket.
Tag. Park. And look where I end up stopping. Look at that. Look at that R32 Fed, and across here, there's this white Chevy Malibu HGV.
Okay,
End up stopping.
let's go back here to
I think
where.
after there's something we shoot.
Yeah.
Back on.
Yeah.
See that? R32 fin. Okay, so there was a reason why those two guys who were going to their truck, because I thought they were going to come out of the park space. They said they were to leave, but they were like, no, they wasn't leaving. So as I pull up closer, again, that number.
Tag. Park. And look where I end up stopping.
And then a little bit across from
Look
there,
at that R32 Fed, and
this was the vehicle that I just showed right here.
there's this white
And
Chevy
then-
Malibu.
The white Chevy Malibu. Let's go back. I want to pause a second, see if you can get the number.
And look where I end up stopping. Look at that. Look at that.
No, it's not these vehicles. It's this vehicle right here, which I showed.
This is white chip.
Okay, let's pause that. Ah, there we go. But just
HPV
I
5327.
set the license plate number.
Never fails. Never fails.
Okay. Now, let me go back. Now, see this van is also looking for parking, right? So there's a couple that was coming out, and you would think that he would follow the couple, right? But he goes this way. Now, he's not leaving because when I got the parking, I saw the same van circling again. So these two couples, you see they walking. Now, like I said, that van was looking for parking, and again, the color theme red. She has the red bag in her hands. Okay. Now watch. Let's say everything is pre-planned. This is all pre-planned. Okay. Guy comes out of here. He looks at this vehicle. Now I wonder why he's looking at the vehicle. Let's go back. You can view this full screen. Comes out. Looks right over here at the vehicle. Right across right here. Okay. I wonder why. Can you guess it? Can you guess?
And again, look at the license plate right here. Right, I have to park.
Right.
I stopped to get the parking. HVK 3254. Nissan Rogue. You know, like I said, everything is strategically planned. Ridiculous what TIs have to go through.
Okay. So this point got parking, went into the mall, and the targeting continued. As soon as I walked in, there was a place that's called Quick Fix. So there was a security guard on one of those I forget what you call those, Segway. It was on the Segway, and as I entered into the mall, he's looking in the shop, and the name of the shop is Quick Fix. See, what they're attempting to do, right, is to reverse engineer the psychological harm that they've done to me. Okay, so they're trying to say that, okay, well, you know, yeah, we harmed them psychologically, but you know what, we've built up enough confidence in him to where the target hasn't affected him at all, that we've, you know, it's like giving somebody cancer and then attempting to cure it, but the person dies anyway because, you know, you couldn't cure it, right? And this, what they're doing is called like for a person who has an illness that just can't be cured and they'll die from it, terminal, right? So a terminal illness. So what they do to us as TI is to do what is called terminal permanent, okay, mental damage. Okay, I won't even say a mental illness, but mental damage, because on top of the microwave technology that's being beamed at the TIs, you know, which can cause anything from you know, a brain tumor, uh, um, what do you call it, brain aneurysm, that sort of thing. So it is terminal, okay? And so what they're doing and what they're trying to convince these people out there is that, oh yeah, we haven't damaged him permanently. He's okay, right? And the thing is that you can't. It's like I said before. If you drop a plate, and we're talking about, let's say, a glass plate or a ceramic plate, and then you pick up the pieces and you glued it, guess what? Even though you put the plate back together, okay, you glued it back together, there's still cracks in this place, on the plate. And also, there are little pieces that will be missing. So you have holes in there. So you have to think of it as that, right? Whenever you run this kind of psychological program, this cursive persuasion program on an individual, and then you attempt to, let's say, reverse engineer the damage that you've caused, you haven't done anything. That individual or those individuals are still damaged, and they'll be damaged for the rest of their life. Okay? So don't convince yourself that what you're doing now, trying to build up my confidence, is somehow, that you won't be held accountable for the crimes that you've done to me. No. I'm going to make sure that whoever participated in this are held accountable for torture, for violation of my human rights, constitutional rights, individual rights, my privacy, also, damaging my children psychologically with this and physically, poisoning my son at school, doing the same thing to my daughter, to where, they come home and they're like, my tummy hurts really bad and stuff like that after eating the school lunch. I mean, with my son, it hasn't happened, for a few weeks now, because I threatened to go to the school board and complain. Okay? And so finally, after taking him to the doctor, I had to explain to the doctor over and over again, because every time I go there, I'm like, and this doctor is my family. Okay? And I've, for the past year, school semester that passed, I've been telling her, listen, my son, when he eats the school lunch, he gets really bad tummy aches and he throws up. So finally, she was like, well, let's take some stool samples from both of them, and we send it to the lab. Okay, but it had to take me complaining to her about what's happening with these kids numerous times before some action like this is taken, in terms of giving samples of this stool so they can see if there's anything in their stomach that's causing all of this, the pains that they're having. So anyway, back to what I was saying. We went inside the mall, and like I said, there was a store that as soon as we entered, because I was with the kids, the security guard started looking at it, as well as numerous civilian perps, and they were all looking at the store at the same time. And I guess they wanted me to look at it, but I didn't really look at it until we exited out the mall. So we have went to the mall to get our glasses fixed. Okay, and as I was walking to the mall, an older lady approached me, and she asked me if I wanted to do a survey, and I said no, not interested. So we went, got our eyeglasses fixed, and I took my wallet out to pay, and the parking ticket that I had fell out of my pocket, right, in the store. So I didn't realize it, and as we were leaving, walking back to the parking lot, the same lady approached me again about doing a survey. She was like, you can get $10. So I turned to Ethan, because it was a survey in terms of Danimal, I guess, is releasing a new yoga product for children. And so I said to Ethan, I said, "Do you want to do the survey? You want to get $10?" He was like, "Yes." I said, "Okay, fine." So we walked in. We did the survey. He got his $10. As I was leaving, walking, the lady, came running behind me, and she was like, "Sir, what's your age?" And for some reason, I just said 47. Even though I'm 46, I'm going to be 47 this year. But for some reason, I just said 47. And I went back into the store, the glasses store, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, did you guys see a ticket on the floor, pocket ticket on the floor?" And they were like, "No, no." And like, that's BS, okay? Because that's where I lost the ticket. That's where the ticket fell out of my pocket. But, it didn't surprise me because they were targeting me as I was there, as we were getting our eyeglasses fixed. And, my son was getting his eyeglasses fixed. I was getting my shade, my sunglasses fixed. So they're like, "Okay, whatever." So I had to go buy another ticket, which was $5. And again, I realized once the ticket machine told me that it would be $5 to replace the ticket that fell out of my pocket, I said, "Okay, there's a theme here," because as we left the place that was doing the survey, the older woman gave my son two $5 bill, and I was like, "Okay, so my ticket fell out of my pocket. Now I got to pay $5." So I said, "Okay, this might be a theme here with using the number 5." Okay, because you remember what I said, nothing is coincidence. When you see things happen in a repetitive manner, there is no such thing as coincidence, right? Everything is planned somewhat. Actually, I shouldn't say there's no such thing as coincidence, because they are. But when you're a targeted individual, there's no such thing as coincidence. Everything is pre-planned. So anyway, let me move on to the next video. So again, we left the mall, as you'll see here. Yes, let's go. Let me just speed this up. So I can't really play that. Okay. So at this point, I ran out of storage, so the video stopped at this point. But I took the kids to McDonald's. There's a McDonald's over here. I went pointed, not far from where. So went to the McDonald's and ordered the food. And as we came out of the drive-through, again, you'll see that they'll use the fire truck, okay, as part of the harassment campaign. It's campaign. See the fire truck right there.
Look at that.
Okay, and it was very short because I was only able to record a few seconds of it, but I was like, let me try to record this to see if I can get maybe a minute or so of recording that I was able to do. But let me get at least a couple of seconds so that you can see. And this is me directly leaving the McDonald's, and of course the fire truck gonna have to be pulling, again, it's a rehash of old tactics. I've done plenty of videos on this, so you can look for yourself. Now, drove to my physical therapy. I took the kids with me so I could do my physical therapy. We left physical therapy. The minute I came out of physical therapy, there was a police car,
Every place I go,
which is right here. You see it right there? You have to view this full screen, but you see them.
there.
But they were the minute I exit out of that building, they were flying past, sirens loud, going off. Again, synchronization. The minute I leave, come out of the building, come out of the apartment building, come out right when I used to work, come out of the job, they will be driving by, sirens, loud as hell if it's the fire truck, sirens going off, if it's the police or ambulance. Okay.
where I go today, and because they don't want me to catch them on video, they are speeding, driving fast.
Exactly. Because I was immediately as I exited, and I saw them. I took my phone out of my pocket. But when they're going fast, you'd be lucky if you can catch them on video. But I did for a little bit, so let me go back a little bit. Okay, you see that's them right there. See the light? That's them right there.
Every place I go.
Okay, so I just wanted to show that. Now this is the same day again. I'm going to the mall, getting my glasses fixed. And this is what they do. Okay, so let's speed this up. All right, let's go to the next video.
No, leave my.
Okay, that's the kids in the back. Okay, now.
Daddy to a hat.
Oh, you hot? Okay. Well, I got the
Okay. So you'll see they will be using the color, the red theme. As you'll see, a young man walked here. Remember, now he's not on the sidewalk. Because I said they love to walk in the street when they want to get your attention. And I guess he was walking on the side here. I think he was walking in the street. I'm not sure. He may have been walking on the sidewalk and came out onto the street. Because I didn't see him in my side view. Okay, maybe not here. Let's see if it's this one. That might be another video that I were able to record it at. So let's go back here. Let's see. Okay, so you know what? It may be another video, or the other video that I'm gonna do. Whereas I leave the physical therapy place to go back onto Martin Street, where the children's mother, where Pam lives. Okay. Theme red. See the hand signal. And as I said, you hear the police sirens. So look good. There you go again. Let's go again. There you go. So, like I said, they'll use their children as part of targeting. So theme red, he goes. Hand signal. Grab his ears. I'll stick his finger in his ears. Now, this SUV here, pay attention.
it on.
Okay. Well, I think it must have been another car with that license plate. So I'm trying to.
$1320 HSZ, white Mercedes.
Okay. So I just wanted to get that. Okay, let's go here.
HCS 3275.
Okay, another vehicle. With that number. You see, it's coming in the opposite direction, so it wouldn't able to catch that. Now, again, you'll see sometimes they'll use people walking with these folders, right? And these folders, you know, they have files in them, paper in them. Now, watch the synchronization. Okay, I'm going to explain to you the synchronization. Okay, so let's see. Again, now you'll see her approach. She hides it in her face. Hide in her face. She comes to look at her phone. Now she wasn't on her phone. She's gonna act like she was on her phone, but you'll see she wasn't really on her phone at all. But again, it's how they try to mask it so that because they know I'm recording. She's looking. She just give a slight glance at me. Okay, but I want you to see the girl here. We're gonna concentrate on the girl who's gonna walk here. As soon as he passed by, you know. Now look, she raised up, hiding, and want to be recognized on camera. So they must be using her a lot in terms of targeting other TIs that she doesn't want to be recognized. And again, they use some of the same people to target TIs, you know, because there may be other TIs within the area here that I don't know about. That they may not even know that they're TIs. Okay, so.
Are you taking the parking space? Okay, can I get it? Thank you.
So, again, remember this SUV? So obviously, they didn't want anybody parking in there except for me, you know. And again, so remember when I told you that the lady who was doing the survey, the other lady, when she came running after me and she was like, "What's your name?" And I just happened to say 47. I don't know why I say 47. Here you go. Okay, the thought was placed into my mind as I was being remotely monitored, microwave at the mall. Okay, so you see how it works. Okay, so I'm going to end this video because I got a couple more that I have to do, but just wanted to give examples again, trying to expose what's being done. Okay,